Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I almost thought that I have had this movie, I own this movie, but apparently I don't. And it is a film that I did watch as a kid. I know it's rated R, so maybe I shouldn't admit that out loud, but I just got done rewatching Life. Life is a 1999 film that was directed by Ted Demme. And the plot is we get Eddie Murphy as Rayford and Martin Lawrence as Claude. These two guys, the way how they meet, a lot going on there, but let's just put it this way. These two guys, who aren't really friends, they just sort of wind up in the wrong place at the wrong time. They find a dead body, and the cops are called, and they get blamed for the murder. So they didn't even commit the crime that ends up putting them in jail for life, which is where you get the title of the movie. So you watch these two guys in prison for life. Of course they're going to try to get out, we're going to try to do something because they're innocent, but man, this movie, what I think of Life is, I enjoy it, but it's also kind of sad. It is. I enjoy it because it's really nice to see Eddie Murphy in a rated R movie where he's funny. You know, it's. I feel like this is one of the last, like, really, at least solid Eddie Murphy movies. I know he might have had another one here and there post this in the 2000s, but it's so few and far between when Eddie Murphy, like, every time he has a new movie come out, you always think like this is going to be the one. And so it's nice to watch this and enjoy his performance, enjoy his role, enjoy him just being the way that he's being, bouncing off of Martin Lawrence. It's funny that he's the one who's more annoying or more goofy, and Martin is the straight man. You wouldn't have expected that just going in. Martin Lawrence plays Claude, like I said, and he's trying to get his act together. He has a girlfriend that he should be trying to Sinai lengthen. He should be trying to sort of settle her down, but for some reason he's slacking. He's trying to get this job started, but of course all of this mess happens, and so you immediately feel bad for them when they take the rap for this murder that a cop actually committed. So it's very easy to cover it up and let them take the rap. But once you see them in prison, once you get to that point, like, there are comedic moments, there are silly moments, there are funny moments, moments that made me laugh. But underlying, I couldn't help but just feel sad. A little depressed, but not that much, because like I said, they have humor throughout it. But this essentially is a story about two innocent black men who went to prison for a crime they did not commit. And they spend decades, I'm talking 40 plus decades of their lives wasted, gone, and it sucks. It just, in that sense, in a deeper psychological, if I look back and think about this, and just woof, brutal. And so I think that's why I look back and think that this movie, yes, it's considered a comedy, yes, it has funny moments, and yes, it's with two really funny people, but I get sad when I watch this film and I think about it and see what they had to go through. Some of the other actors, you have Bernie Mac, who of course he plays the gay dude, so there you go. Miguel Nunez, who I think was his boyfriend, I don't know, but his story was kind of sad too, where that goes. Bokeem Woodbine plays a mentally challenged, is that right to say? Is that the right phrasing? He plays somebody who's a little slow, but he's so good at hitting a ball with baseball that, hey, not only that, but there's a certain white girl who that subplot was actually quite amusing, I'm being honest. Anthony Anderson, too, I forgot was in this movie. He's one of the prisoners. Nick Cassavetes plays one of the guards who I mean, I guess he's racist. He does say some things here and there, but there's almost a weird bond and camaraderie that these guys all gained together for being together for all of these decades is kind of sad. And R. Lee Army, he's not in this movie all that much. It's really only like 1 or 2 scenes, but the role that he has and who he was and who he is now, he perfectly embodies that just in the one scene. And if there's anybody to play a racist, whether he was in real life or not, R. Lee Army is that guy who I can buy as the character that he ended up playing. There's a couple points where, since they have to skip ahead some decades and some time, you see Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence especially wear makeup. Now, the first jump that they make and they're wearing the makeup, it looks pretty decent. I'm like, okay, sure, I can buy that this is it. But then there's another point where they jump ahead and they have even more old makeup caked onto them, and that's where it got a little over the top, just makeup wise. I know it's a comedy, so maybe silly, I guess, sure, that could work, but I don't know, it kept taking me out of just how goofy they look versus how far apart the story is at that point. So I know that the very end of the film does try to have a happy ending, does try to make it seem like things aren't the worst thing in the world, but overall, this was sad to me. It was. I had my laughs, I had a decent time, but I still was pretty sad, guys. I don't know. Can't really explain 100%. It's just shit like this happens. And so maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just so sad and sick and tired of hearing stories like this that it just hit a little close to home. Overall, guys, what do you think of Life? The pairing of these two is great. Let me know in the comments below if you've watched the film, if you enjoyed the movie. Maybe you don't get that sadness that I'm bringing with it. Maybe you just enjoy it for what it is. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!